Good morning, everybody. Happy FOMC day. The market has just opened. We're off to the races, and wow, look at that overnight action. That is a jumbled mess if I ever saw it. Would not expect anything less on an FOMC day. Good morning, Paul. Hey, Joanne. Daryl, Jay. Not just Jay, Jay from Boston. Boston. Neil, Yos. Key tag, what's up? Good morning, Bill. Good morning, Michael. Yeah, this is a range, folks. If you didn't know. Good morning, Jonathan. So we will certainly wait for the market to break out of this area before taking anything. Maybe we could consider a long down here if we get a nice failed breakout bullish bar. NQ is also down at support there. I'd consider a long on a failed breakout there too. Buenos dias, Julian. All right, looks like we're now at that support, getting a bullish bar on ES2. So I do think I'm gonna take a chance on this if the bar closes well. There you go. It's a pretty decent bar. We'll look for a small move up. Quick little scalp here. And Q did not really have the same quality of bar to take. NQ's losing steam. May see about scratching out of this if we can. Good morning, Tom. All right, I'm going to get out early here. Looks like it's going to go hit that stop anyway. If we get a higher low, we could take that, but nope. ES popping down. looking to test yesterday's low. So we will respect this selling pressure, let it do its thing. Downtrend could possibly be played out though. See what happens at this key level, yesterday's low. If we break below that and hold below it, we could definitely get a big move down. Good morning, Anna. We're now below that key level. I can consider this wider downtrend here. If we pull back and that level holds, we'll be looking for a short. But keeping in mind that it is FOMC day, the most likely outcome for today is a lot of chop. It's not typical to get nice trending days on FOMC days, so we will try to keep our expectations realistic and just trade what's in front of us. All right, there is a bounce up. That's exactly the kind of thing we can expect on a day like today. So I'm not even going to be looking at that possible larger trend anymore. Market is showing us that the range is the favored structure. We are likely to keep going back and forth here. We still could go to the upside. So we will watch that. This still could develop into a bullish trend, but I think the bearish trend is probably out. We'll move up, already losing some steam. If the 21 holds as support, we can consider a long, but already in Q breaking below that. It's rough price action already, guys. This technically would be a second entry long here on ES. Not clear enough of a context for me to take. All right, second entry long ends up working. NQ has not played itself out yet. You got to move up, break, but no high. Very clearly we're in a range though, guys. That much we do know. Now, already I'd say the uptrend is not super likely either. If buying was really strong, I don't think we would have already had a tiny little uptrend play itself out. So it's already looking like we might be consolidating for the day between yesterday's low, probably yesterday's high. It'd be pretty wild to see us break that. I don't think that's going to happen until maybe hopefully post FOMC. So right now I'm going to be looking for reversals, waiting for trends to play out, and then looking for them to reverse. Market already pausing here. Does look like we will likely have a move downwards. be looking for a lower high here to consider a short. It doesn't look like we're getting it right now. We just keep pushing higher. NQ also looks played out for the time being. Again, we'll be looking for a lower high to catch the reversal. Decent little bar there on NQ that might be worth taking. Of course, it'd be better to wait for the lower high. I'm going to try one time this reversal trade. Very small risk. We're getting that bearish bar. Would make sense for us to at least come back and test the EMA here. But this isn't something you want to keep chasing if it doesn't work the first time. There we go. Looking for one more little push down, then I'll start trailing the stop. NQ is already almost all the way back to the EMA. Probably would have been better to take it on the Nasdaq. It looks a little strong or stronger to the downside. There we go. Starting to see a little bit of a divergence. ES looking to push up to a new high, and Q still on a pullback. If the S&P keeps going up here, we will have to look at some sort of secondary channel, something along these lines. I'm pretty hesitant to do that because we are clearly in a range, and that pattern is not very typical in ranges. All right, here we're getting that correction. NQ especially leading the way down. One more lower high, and I might join in on this move. Since we broke below the EMA, that second lower high would be confirmation that we're going to go even lower. So I'm looking for that on both indices, actually. ES already has the first lower high right here. Kind of looks like a double top, technically lower high, so we will look for that. And Q's moved down even farther than that. I'm looking for a second entry short here. Continuing to push lower, and this will work out very well for a short if we can pull back here pretty soon. ES now joining in the fun, pushing below the 21 there. Y'all saying ES looks like it's bouncing on the previous day's low. The previous day's low is down here. So it's not, it bounced there once, but we'll see what happens on the second pass. Oh wait, sorry. That isn't previous day's low. It's 2 days low, but yesterday's low, where even was it? Yeah, it did basically come up to it and reject off. Back down below it now. But I think a better setup is gonna happen on the Nasdaq here. Nice clear downtrend we've got. Looking at this pullback, we just want to see rejection, another attempt. That's when we will look to short and maybe get another whack at that key level there. Not a good sign for that short over here on ES. We popped up yet again. And this, guys, is looking like a pre-FOMC kind of price action. Lots of back and forth, no real good context. Difficult to take any trades. All right, Nasdaq looking pretty good. It rejected off the EMA. See if we can get one more test here. S&P bouncing back up above the 21. Not a great sign for our short. See if NQ can have a good bar here. We just need it to tick higher, then reverse back down. Okay, let's see what this bar does here. Needs to look really good if we're going to take it. Nothing. Got to close above the 21. One more chance on this bar here. If this drops down below the EMA, closing really bearish. Nope. Not going to happen. Got to wait this area out now, guys. We are in the direct middle of this choppy range. Market has not shown any initiative to go anywhere here. Yeah, still even can't see any trends here. There's just nothing here. Kind of tempting to take another short here as we have a nice bearish hammer. But I'm going to wait for something a little bit more clear. We got away with that trade once, but you don't want to try that too many times. In queue with a couple down candles. ES holding its own on the 21. Trend is persistent here. We could have a secondary channel like this. I just do not like doing that in a range. It's very low probability. But this is the kind of day, guys, we're going to have to probably walk away until after the FOMC minutes. This is looking very much like dead till the Fed kind of action. Every once in a while you get a trend before the FOMC release, but it does not look like that's happening today. It's like we may break below the 21. This is kind of the price action we saw yesterday, though. Very range-like, and it kept looking like the uptrend was played out, and then we were going to move down below the EMA, and then we just never really did until late in the afternoon. Like, oh, hey, nice bearish bar. Nope, bouncing up. Nice bearish bar. Nice bearish bar. There were so many times where it looked like we were going to start making that move down. Didn't happen till way late in the day. So that may be what happens here. It's a choppy uptrend, higher and higher and higher, maybe until the FOMC minutes. Or not the minutes, but the actual rate release. That lower high closed below the 21. I could have considered it. Man, oh man. Yeah, Neil, for sure. 5-minute chart's just going to look like barcode right now. Just doji after doji after doji. So I'm not going to fool around with this anymore, guys. This is pretty garbage. Yeah, yeah, if you're looking at this chart right now and you're trying to find a trade, you should go take a long, hard look in the mirror. There should be nothing here that you're excited about taking a trade on. Very quickly, we're developing into a wait until FOMC, but that does have a lot of potential to change everything. We could get a big move off of it, honestly, depending on what happens. So until that, I don't think there's going to be any major positioning by institutions. Mostly just programs going back and forth. And once we have the rate release and then the subsequent press conference, that's when things could get a little spicy. So you might want to consider walking away until then. There's no sense throwing your money away into this. So I'm going to take a break. I'm going to go get some breakfast and not have my eyes bleed trying to look at this price action, but I will be over in the Discord. You never know when a channel might start popping off or the market might start moving. So of course we'll be ready for it. But anyway, thanks for tuning in this morning. Be safe out there. Don't waste your money on this. Wait for some good setups and have a wonderful day. See y'all soon.